What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in a building with another banger. Now, first things first, before we go ahead and get started, I gotta go ahead and say thank God for another day and another opportunity. Now, as y'all can see from the looks of the title and the screen, today I'm gonna be bringing y'all a very overpowered center big man build in NBA 2K23 today. Now, I'm going to be calling this build the 4-way interior sharpshooter build on NBA 2K23 next gen. Now, this build is actually going to come out to a 2-way interior finisher. We're going to be making it at the height of 7 feet today, but with this build, there's going to be a lot of special things about it. Now look, we're going to be able to get an 80 plus ball handle, plus speed with ball, as well as break ankles and speed boost. But when it comes down to the abilities and animations, we're going to be able to get pro dribble moves, as well as elite contact dunks, and possibly even some of the standing contact dunks. Now, when it comes down to the attributes, these are going to be the ones in which we're definitely able to hit a 100 plus for. Now, that's going to be the 3-point shot, our close shot, standing dunk, post control, interior defense, block, as well as our defensive rebound. Now, this build is honestly gonna remind me of Joel Embiid, really an all-star, and honestly has been going off this year. So I just want to say thank you for everybody coming through, and if it's your first time, be sure to hit that sub button. If you're new, smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family, but more so than anything, be sure to comment down TG for thank God, as well as where you're tuning in from watching today, and I most definitely will be sure to get y'all back with a response. So let's go ahead and get started with creating this build. You can make it out of the power forward or center position, but today I'm going to be going with the center. Now, everything when it comes down to the body settings is going to be a huge role when it comes down to this build. So look, we're going to go with the height of 7 feet today. As for the weight, I decided to go with 228, and then when it comes down to our wingspan, I'm going to go with 7'10". Now look, this build is definitely solid, especially on the defensive end. To take up the most space, I would go with the body shape of builds. Now from here, we're all set to go to get started. I'm going to go with a close shot of an 82. Now when it comes down to the driving layup, I'm going to go with the 73. As for when it comes down to our driving dunk, this is going to be one of the main categories about this build, and I'm going to go with the 93. Now, when it comes down to the standing dunk, go with an 80, and right there we get a total of 18 badges. Now, for tier 1, I like Limitless Takeoff, Pro Touch, Fearless Finisher, Giant Slayer, and Slithery, really all of the main badges that I like. Now, I'm happy that we get tier 2 Posterizer on Gold, but then also Fast Switch with Rise Up, and also even Masher. Now, when it comes down to the shooting, I'm going to go ahead and put the mid-range shot up to a 70. Then when it comes down to the 3-point shot, I'm going to go with a 79. Now look, we get 15 badges, and if you want to be able to take this build into any game mode, go with the free throw of a 70. And now look, we get Agent 3, Midi Magician, Amped, Space Crater with Volume Shooter, Green Machine, and then I really like Limitless Range. Now, so far for the finishing, you can already see we're going to be able to get elite contact dunks. When it comes down to the shooting, we're also going to be able to get sharpshooting takeover with a 79 3-pointer. Now, when it comes down to the playmaking, I'm going to go with the pass accuracy of a 70. Then when it comes down to the ball handle, I'm going to go with the 62. Now, for the speed with ball, I'm going to put this to an 81, and just based off of these attributes, we're also going to be able to equip Playmaking Takeover, which will give us that boost to an 80 plus playmaking when it comes down to the ball handle and our speed with the ball. Now look, I like Client Breaker, also handles for days, but for tier 2 we get Vice Grip, and then for tier 3 it may be worthy of throwing extra badges into this area to unlock any of these 3 silver ones. Now for the defensive end, I'm going to go with an 88 when it comes down to the interior. Now when it comes down to the perimeter, this is really optional, but I'm going to boost this up to a 66. Now for the steal, I'm going to leave it as is, but then when it comes down to the block, I'm going to put this all the way up to a 93. Now, as for the offensive and defensive rebound, bring the defensive up to a 93. The 58 is going to be left for the offensive. And right there, we get 23 defensive badges. Now, I like Glove, Challenger, Interceptor with Hall of Fame Workhorse. Then for Tier 2, Gold Box Out Beast, Post Lockdown, Hall of Fame Chase Down Artist with Gold Anchor, Puggle Stick, Rebound Chaser, and Brick Wall. Now, if you add all of the badges up together, and if you have extra badges from my career and each season unlocked, you're going to be able to get anywhere from 69 to 75 badges off rip. Now, with this build, the thing that makes it really special is going to be the takeovers, but also the build name with the elite contact dunks. Now, when it comes down to the physicals, this is probably the most important thing about this build. So I'm going to go ahead and put my speed up to a 72. As for when it comes down to the acceleration, go with the 66. 80 when it comes down to our strength, and then as for the vertical, I'm going to go with an 82. And then for the rest of the attributes, put it into our stamina, and we should be able to get a perfect 90. Now, this is what the build is going to be looking like. Now, do take into consideration, if you buy your own boost, that's a +5. The better you play, your stats are also gradually going to raise. And then look, if you run with a teammate that has on Hall of Fame Floor General, that's another +4 towards all areas of this build. Now, with our takeovers, that's a +10 towards 2 separate areas. And we get the slashing, the sharpshooting, the playmaking, and then also the rim protecting. Now, for the most potential on this build, I would first go with Paint Intimidation, and then you can even go ahead and put on Limitless Range just for the most comp lineup. But if you want the best for your attributes, I would go with Finishing Moves Takeover. Maybe the second one definitely has to be the playmaking in my opinion, but you can definitely change either the first or second takeover to your own liking. Now, if you don't go with finishing moves, go with Limitless Range Takeover with the playmaking, and this is going to be the best setup to go with for the most potential. Now, let's go ahead and check out the build name to make sure that we made it correctly together. And if you followed along, we should be getting these 3 comparisons. And as y'all can see, we have created the 2-way interior finisher, also known as the 4-way interior sharpshooter. Now, let me know down below in the comments, did y'all make this build exactly how I brought it to y'all, or did you make your own version? But I really like the way that I did build it out to be. Now, I would definitely appreciate your opinion on this build. I think it's really one of the best centers that we can make. Now, from here, take into consideration all of the boosts that I just named recently, and you have a lot of potential to work with out of this build. You're going to be able to speed boost, get that 80+ ball handle and speed with the ball. Plus, when it comes down to that 3-point shot, it's going to be able to get a 99+. Really clutch if you pick the correct takeovers. Now from here, let's wrap it up and get into the breakdown of the badges. Now, when it comes down to the finishing, I'm going to go with Silver Slithery, Back Down Punisher with Core Rise Up, Gold Posterizer, Limitless Takeoff, and Hall of Fame Pro Touch. Now, with this area, definitely may be worthy to throw extra badges towards, but with the contact dunks as well as these badges equipped, I think we're all set to go for a really solid lineup. Now, I really would go ahead and switch some of these badges up. I like Fearless Finisher, but for now, I'm going to leave the setup as is. For the shooting, I'm going to go with Bronze Agent 3, Core Limitless Range, Silver Green Machine, Mini Magician with Amped, as well as Gold Space Crater and Volume Shooter. Now, I think I picked all of the main badges needed in order to boost our shooting percentage. Here's the jump shots that we're actually able to pick and recreate from, and I think we're going to be all set to go with a nice build going forward. Now, for the playmaking, I'm going to go with Bronze Client Breaker, Handles for Days, Mismatch Expert, Break Starter, Bailout with Silver, Core, Vice Grip. Now, with this build from the gameplay, you already saw that we're able to dribble, and also keep in mind, if you throw extra badges towards this area, we're going to be able to get one of these 3 badges equipped, and I really think that may be something to look at. Now, for the defensive end, to wrap it up, normally I would go with Challenger, Glove, and Interceptor, even Workhorse and Hall of Fame, but I'm going to go straight to Tier 2 with Silver Box Out Beast, Hall of Fame Chase Down Artist with Silver Brick Wall, Core Gold Anchor, and Rebound Chaser. Now, you can go about the setup however you would like. I'm just throwing something at y'all to give you an idea of what the best setup in my mind is going to be for the badges. Let me know what y'all thought about today's build, and if you enjoyed it, I would definitely appreciate it if y'all smash that like button. But if it was your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family. And more so than anything, before you leave, comment down TG for thank God, as well as where you're tuning in from watching today. And I most definitely will be sure to hit y'all back with a response. But with all that being said, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.